This podcast contains detailed plot spoilers, adult language, and mature themes. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome back to a podcast of Rare Antiquities. We have another special edition episode tonight. I will be your host. I'm Geoff.
And this is Harry.
Harry, what's up, man? How's it going?
Oh, good.
Yeah, no, we're jumping forward to a contemporary pick, as we do occasionally when we feel like a theatrical release deserves our attention, either because it's super relevant or just part of our fandom. And that is today. We have the 24th Terminator sequel, Terminator Dark Fate. So that's what we're doing tonight, man. Terminator Dark Fate. So what were your initial thoughts when this film was in production and the anticipation of the film and understanding that this franchise it's basically a zombie franchise, right? It keeps coming back from the dead. So what were your thoughts there when you knew this was happening again?
Well, I mean, after Genesis, I wasn't a fan of the movie, and that kind of killed it for me. And I said at that point, enough's enough. I didn't really want to support it anymore. And if they continued with that storyline from Genesis moving onwards, I think I would have just skipped it completely. I would have had no interest. But because Linda Hamilton was coming back, and she was one of my heroes growing up when I was a child, someone I admired, that is pretty much, I mean, I love Arnie. Arnie is still the draw, technically, especially for old school Terminator fans such as ourselves, but Linda Hamilton was the real reason I wanted to watch this movie. And that's kind of where my interest for coming back was. But I will say this, I was extremely worried when I saw that first trailer. It almost put me off. It was a terrible trailer. I don't know if you know that first one that came out. I think based on the internet's reaction, nobody was a fan of that trailer. I think the second or final trailer, that was a bit better. But the first trailer, that was cut horribly. Terrible piece of marketing. Probably hurt the film in terms of its box office. Your cat agrees with me.
Yeah, I don't remember the first trailer there. I mean, the second trailer was pretty good.
The second trailer was better. They redeemed themselves. That's what got me to the theater. I mean, I still would have gone, as I said, but I really didn't want to based off that first trailer. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit more about the past, just briefly, about the other previous Terminator flicks.
Oh, we definitely do want to talk about that, yeah.
Do you want me to just...
Yeah, just...
No, I mean, like for me, T1 and T2 are masterpieces of science fiction, and especially the second one in terms of sci-fi action. I think Terminator 1, I mean, this is a huge debate, and we could probably have a separate podcast on this, that I think Terminator 1 is the better movie. The reason why I like it a little bit more is it's more of a personal preference. I think it's just a bit of a tighter story, and it's very simple in terms of the time travel logic. And I like that it's kind of that closed loop, kind of everything fits in a nice little package. And I like a little bit of the horror element. And I was fucking scared as a child of Arnold as the Terminator. And I love those effects. I think the effects and the makeup stand till today. I did watch T1 and T2 in preparation for this one. And Terminator 1 still blows me away. I know there's a bit of that stop motion at the end as the endoskeletons going through the factory there, chasing.
Yeah, it works though. It's fine.
But it works. But you know what? It's actually scary. It's creepy, and I love it, and it's just amazing. Now that doesn't take away anything from Terminator 2. I would not begrudge anyone saying T2 is better than T1. They're almost at the same level for me. I mean, Terminator 1 is in my top 10. If I had to list my top 10 favorite movies of all time, T2 might just fall out. It might be number 11. But it's that high up there for me. T1's definitely in my top 10. James Cameron did a fucking kick-ass job. I love everything about those first two movies. Fucking fantastic. And going back to Linda Hamilton, her in Terminator 2 especially, man, you know, there's a lot of problems right now on the internet about this woke culture and bashing female action heroes and stuff. And I don't like any of the gender politics that Hollywood plays. I'm going to call it a spade if they're just going to make a feminine hero perfect or whatever for the sake of being perfect and invulnerable and all that stuff. I mean, I can't relate to that. Linda Hamilton, on the other hand, same as Ripley, this is your gold standard, your Bible of how to craft a hero, whether it's male or female, it didn't matter. And I didn't care. I'm a young boy. I mean, yeah, I was growing, all my major heroes were male characters, But the two I really identified with were Ripley and Sarah Connor. And they just had fantastic arcs. They're vulnerable. They have a progression. And even in Terminator 2, even as Linda Hamilton is ripped, stone cold killer, when she goes in after Dyson, I mean, that scene when she realizes that she is about to become the thing that she is fighting against, and she's about to commit murder like a Terminator. She's going to exterminate this man. And she has that breakdown, and she then apologizes to John. I mean, such a perfect scene. I love it. So I like the vulnerability of any protagonist and the badassery of it. I think this is a perfect example of how to craft such a character in a masterful style, and same way in Alien and Aliens, for example. Then, obviously, the action, the special effects, Arnie's fucking awesome. We could spend hours and hours talking about the intricate details of Terminator and Terminator 2. I don't want to go down there, because then we'll never finish this until tomorrow morning. So, I'll leave it at that. Masterful, and because I think this might get missed if we don't touch upon it now. I loved Brad Fiddel's score in both those movies. It's amazing. I had the soundtracks for both those movies when I was a kid. Used to listen to it all the time. Love the score. And I'm also wondering, I don't even know if, what happened to Brad Fiddell? Is he still alive, working?
I have
no idea.
No idea. I mean, I have the CD for T2 somewhere, and I listen to that soundtrack all the fucking time. And
dope.
It's fucking dope, man. It's so good. It's like classical, it's super metal, but still sort of like instrumental.
Yeah,
it's
but
great.
Appropriately metal. And
yeah.
It's great. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Oh, it fits. It's one of those soundtracks. I mean, it's not on par with your John Williams or whatever, but form fits the content. It's very metal in almost a real sense. It sounds metal, like it's very kind of clangy, like metal clanging. And that fits with the subject matter, right? That's awesome. I love that soundtrack. Sure, it's simple, but it's really good.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic soundtrack. Yeah. But I'm really curious because I know based on our first ever episode and then you refreshed my memory and all of our conversations we had many moons ago, I know T2 is your favorite movie, or at least used to be. As it still is number one for you?
I think it still stands. I think it still stands for me. Yeah. It's not the best movie I've ever seen, but
your favorite.
My favorite. Yeah.
How about the original Terminator? I guess the question is, why is that your favorite, since we're talking?
I don't have a good answer for it. You asked two questions, where's the first Terminator? I love the first Terminator. The Terminator is awesome. That's a great movie. I feel like the Terminator and Terminator 2, it's almost like apples and oranges. They're very different films. The Terminator is more of a action horror, action thriller. It's a low budget indie art house movie, really. It was made on $4 million, I think, was the budget of the Terminator. And it's fucking great. Terminator 2 was huge. At the time it was made, if I understand correctly, it was the biggest budget of all time at the time it was made. Big action blowout.
It did. And you know what? Again, Arnie trying to one-up Sly. Not that he really had a say on the budget, but Rambo 3, made in the late 80s, was the highest budgeted movie or the most expensive movie ever made until T2.
So there you go. You take a $4 million art house film and then you take the sequel and you blow it up like that with the same director and the same principal actors. I respect that it works. If I were to see the same thing today, I don't think you could make it work today. And I think that's a testament to Cameron, and Arnie was great and Linda Hamilton's great in both. Yeah, why is T2 my favorite? I don't know. Just is, man. I mean, I think like anybody's favorite movie, I think it just hits you at the right part of your life where it was the thing that you needed at that time, and a message of hope. And in that film that I really find is really special. And I don't know, it's fucking awesome, man. I mean, everything about it is awesome. As the first term, everything about it is awesome. It's something about T2 that just gets me in the feels.
T2 is fucking grand.
It is fucking grand. It's fucking grand. Thanks, Rick McCallum.
Yes.
Fucking grand.
So I guess I have one last question. We haven't talked about Arnie a lot on the podcast, surprisingly. Just, I guess, your thoughts on Arnie.
On the Arnold?
On Arnold.
I got a ton of respect for him, man. Yeah, I'm a fan. But what can I say? I'm a fan. I mean, for a guy with no formal acting training, and I'm sure he's had some pointers along the way, but he's great. I mean, when have you watched him in a movie and he's like, well, Arnold's performance sucked? You've never said that. You know what I mean? Like, he has an energy and a charisma that just permeates the film that he's in. And he's been in some clunkers. There's no doubt about it. But he still manages pretty good performances most of the time. Like, in my opinion, the Terminator is kind of the pinnacle of his role because
Are you talking about like the character of the Terminator or the original? Okay.
The character of the Terminator, not the Terminator, the first film, although he was obviously fucking great in it. But he does such a great job as that character. He's believable as a robot. He knows how to play it for humor. Like Arnold's very good at humor. Like his timing is great. He's always very funny in his movies. His comedic timing as the Terminator, the character, is excellent as that robot. I think he should have won an Oscar for T2, to be honest with you. No,
Really?
I'm not joking at all. T2, he should have won an Oscar for T2 as best supporting actor. Best supporting actor.
Supporting. He was the lead.
No. I think Linda Hamilton could have won an Oscar as...
Yes. Linda Hamilton deserved an Oscar.
I think she deserved an Oscar.
Or a nom. At least a nomination for it.
Yeah, nomination. I'll give you that. Like, they both could have lived with a nomination.
Well, Arnie didn't deserve a nomination.
I disagree. I think he did.
No.
He's so good.
He's fantastic. I love Arnie. I love everything Arnie is in, even if it's crap. I need more Arnie. But
yeah, I need more.
Hey man, any Arnie is great Arnie.
Yeah.
Thing is,
but why not an Oscar then?
I mean, no. I'm sorry. There's a line I got to draw there with reason. So
we can litigate that at a later date. But what was the question?
No, just your thoughts on Arnold.
He's great. I love him.
No,
I really like him. And honestly, I wish he hadn't taken an aside for his political career. I mean, I respect it that he's like, I got to do a thing here, and that's fine. But I would have liked to have seen him. I don't know. His film career was kind of declining at that point, so maybe it was for the best. I'm glad he jumped into film after he decided to be governor of California. But yeah, I love him. I love the guy. He's so good. He's so watchable. I think nowadays, like, people talk about The Rock, right? Dwayne Johnson. And I love me The Rock. Like, The Rock's great, but you watch The Rock and it's like, okay, I'm watching The Rock. And he's funny, but he's kind of wooden. He doesn't have, you watch Arnie and you're like, yeah, I'm watching Arnie, but he seems to embody the character that he's playing. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't take you out of the movie. When I watch The Rock in a movie, it takes me out of the movie. I'm watching The Rock. When I watch Arnold in the movie, it doesn't take me out of the movie.
I hear you. I actually kind of feel the same. It's not to disparage The Rock in such a negative way. I think he also has a lot of charisma, but Arnold's not an actor really either. He doesn't have a lot of range, but the thing I like about Arnold is that he's willing to poke fun at himself, not just outside in interviews or outside of being in a movie, but even lately he's able to poke fun of himself a little bit more. There is some range, but there's a limitation to the range, but I do think he has a great sense of humor, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Mm-hmm. And I think that has actually benefited his career to a great deal. More than, like, I even think that Stallone, to a certain extent, has seen him in interviews where he can be funny in terms of talking about something, but he can't pull it off as well, that humorous side on the screen, that Arnie can. That's just a testament to how good-natured Arnie is and how good of a charisma he has. Mm-hmm. And he's just kind of like your welcoming, big oaf kind of guy. You want to kind of go give him a hug all the time, except in the original Terminator. That I was scared shitless, as I said. So I don't want to go anywhere near that.
He's terrifying in the Terminator. Yeah.
Yeah. With the exception of that role, he kind of lets himself explore some small facets of it, but I don't think anyone could have taken him seriously in a serious dramatic role. I think he's tried in some films, especially after his political career. I don't think it's worked. So action and comedy is kind of where he's stuck at, unfortunately. But I mean, I love practically everything he did in the 80s and 90s. I'm a huge fan of, except for a few shitty movies. Most of them were awesome.
Like any actor, he's had some clunkers, but for the most part, most of his movies are very watchable. I mean, I love most of his movies. It was kismet. He was the guy he was around at the time when there were directors making movies that were perfect for him, like Predator and fucking Total Recall and Terminator and True Lies, and the list goes on. It was just fate. It was destiny that this happened. It was perfect. And that's great. I'm happy with it. And he knew his lane and he stuck to it. And yeah, he's funny and he can shoot a fucking minigun. That's awesome. Okay. I think we can agree Schwarzenegger rules. We're almost a half an hour in. We haven't talked about the movie we're talking about. But before we talk about the movie we've talked about T1 and T2. Let's briefly delve into the sequels.
We don't have to. We don't have to.
Okay. No, we definitely need to. So we've got Terminator 3, which I don't think had a subtitle.
No, it did. Rise of the Machines.
Rise of the Machines. You're right. Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. Terminator Salvation. Terminator Genesis. That's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not missing any, right? There's those three. So We don't need to talk about each one extensively, but just get into those three for me.
Okay, well, Rise of the Machines, I actually enjoy. I own the film. I know that most Terminator fans kind of write it off. My biggest problem with the movie is the removal of Sarah Connor and Linda Hamilton and just kind of saying, oh yeah, she died of cancer or whatever, and she's just out of the picture. I also wasn't, unfortunately, a fan of Claire Danes' character. I guess Edward Furlong wasn't leading man material as he grew a little older, so considering that, I think Nick Stahl didn't do the greatest job, but he wasn't horrendous. And the humor in that movie is not very good. I think that's where it loses a lot of people, like the talk to the hand and the sunglasses and all that stuff. But I do like, and I do think that especially in today's, technically the Terminator's called the Terminatrix, or dubbed the Terminatrix.
I think, she was always dubbed that. Like, I think the model was TX in the film, so I think that was sort of extrapolated to Terminatrix, but...
With the exception of the boob thing, like her inflating the boobs or whatever it was, which is a tasteless joke. I actually, hate to say it, I dug her. I dug her as a villain. I didn't mind it at all. I like the action set pieces in the film. There's a great chase in the movie. And my favorite thing about the movie is that it kind of it stays true to the first two movies in a sense, and it kind of ties the series and closes it out. Doesn't matter what happened, and it's very related to the movie we're going to be talking about, as well as even Genesis, is that it didn't matter that they kind of stopped Dyson in T2 and all that stuff. Humanity's fate and the machines becoming self-aware and targeting humanity was inevitable. And I like that message in this kind of unfortunate apocalyptic movies that they're really dealing with here. Because it's kind of true, like we as humans don't learn from our mistakes. We've been around for thousands of years, and what do? Don't learn our lessons. And so we're kind of, as the one message that the Terminator says to John Connor in T2 is like, it's your destiny to destroy yourselves or whatever. So, or it's within you to destroy yourselves. It's in your DNA. And that message is carried forward in T3. And it closes out beautifully with the Terminator saved him, got him to the bunker, and it's tying the whole series to a close. And the war started, the nuclear missiles have been fired. Skynet is self-aware. They've launched the first attack, and John Connor is safe. And I love that message. I love that ending, and I kind of wish it stopped there. I think the only way to really make that movie better is having Sarah Connor there, and she also does a self-sacrifice getting John to safety in some manner. It doesn't just have to be an empty sacrifice. They could have done a good story around it, and maybe getting rid of the Claire Danes character and having Sarah Connor there, but be that as it may, I did enjoy that. Now, the other two movies, garbage shit. Salvation, garbage shit. The only worthwhile moment of that movie is the YouTube of Christian Bale losing it on that light guy.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. He fucking lost it.
Oh man. I don't know what drug he was taking that day, but yeah, Christian Bale, he has some issues. I think he's a great actor. I'm not a fan of the guy. I think he needs to get worked.
When you starve yourself down to like 98 pounds and then roll yourself up to 235 within like a year, as he does with his roles, right? That's going to have a negative effect on your personality. Fucks with his body, right?
I don't give a fuck. Anyway, be that as it may, I'm not a fan of Salvation. It's not really because of Bale. I think for some odd reason, they kind of did a weird story around that Aussie actor, whatever his name is, the guy from Avatar.
Sam Worthington.
What a useless character.
He was brutal.
Brutal. That movie is terrible. Garbage shit. Yeah. And Genesis, I don't know what's worse. That one or Genesis. Honestly. I honestly don't know. Now, here's the kind of the controversial comment I'll make. Sarah Connor to me is Linda Hamilton. I did not mind Emilia Clarke as Sarah Connor. She wasn't great, but she wasn't atrocious. Who was atrocious was fucking Jai Courtney and that other guy who played John Connor.
Fucking Courtney.
Oh, man.
Get the fuck out of my face with Jai fucking Courtney.
He's box office poison. That's what I think.
Oh, he's poison. He's the worst.
Yeah. He's cancer. He's box office cancer. And I'm not a big fan of Jason Clarke. I don't know how this guy gets roles.
Who's Jason Clarke?
He was John Connor in Genesis.
Oh, yeah. He's not great. No, he's not at all very good.
I don't understand this actor. He must know somebody to get a role in Hollywood.
Yeah, there's some video of somebody doing some shit.
Anyways, be that as it may, the main problem with the movie is not really the acting, even though that doesn't help. It's the story and the reboot and the kind of retconning of how things are going in the timeline. It's a huge problem. I don't even really want to talk about it. It's fucking terrible. So that's all I gotta say. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Give me your thoughts quickly.
Well, alright. So, Terminator 3, I don't like at all. I'm with you. They should not have tried the movie without Linda Hamilton. They just made a superfluous sequel. Like, they tied it up in T2, it's over, and then T3, they're just like, oh, well, there's this other thing that happens, and they get new actors. And like you say, okay, well, Edward Furlong, all right, is he not leading man material? Fine, but Nick Stahl, he didn't do anything either. I like Claire Danes, but yeah, like, they're just adding shit here, and the idea of the TX, actually, she was pretty good. She might have been the best part of it.
Yeah, she was great.
But yeah, no, I don't care for Terminator 3 at all. Terminator 3 can just suck my ass, I guess is what I can say. Fuck you, Terminator 3. I hate Terminator 3 so much. So fuck you, T3. Terminator Salvation is a terrible movie put together by one of my most hated directors, McG.
I forgot it's him. Oh, man.
Fuck you, dude. You're a movie director, you call yourself McG? The fuck out of here with that shit. But I will say this about Salvation is like, that was the right idea for a sequel. Let's just not worry about the continuity and the time travel and all that shit. Let's go to the future and let's tell the story of the future war.
That's what they should have done. T3 should have been about them getting to that, winning the war, that last battle, and closing it out, sending Reese back, blowing up the machine up, and it's done.
Exactly. And that's what it should have been about. And they started that. And there was some cool stuff about the one dude who didn't know he was a Terminator, that Sam Worthington.
Oh, no.
Like, it was an all right idea, and they just didn't pull it off. Like, in the trailer, when I watched the trailers, I'm like, oh shit, that's kind of a neat idea. And they didn't land it, but I didn't mind the idea. But I mean, the movie sucked balls. It was just terrible. That's a terrible film. I own it on Blu-ray because I own all of them on Blu-ray except for T3 because T3 can suck my ass.
So you hate T3 more than Salvation?
Yes, I do.
What? Oh my God.
I do hate T3 more than Salvation. Wow. Well, T3 is just like, let's do T2 again, guys. Only with a girl.
No, it's not the same movie.
That's what T3 is. T3 is just like, let's do the same movie again.
Oh, okay. Different podcast.
That's all it is.
Disagree. Oh, wow. Okay. That's fine. I want this on record. You think T3 is worse than Genesis as well?
Do I think T3? Yeah, definitely.
Oh, my
definitely.
goodness.
And I'll tell you what. We'll get to Genesis.
Genesis?
Harry. Bring me Genesis! Or don't. It's fine. But listen, here's the thing about Genesis. I am not a fan of Emilia Clarke at all. And I think she did a shit job, Sarah Connor. And I don't think she's a very good actor, to be perfectly honest. She gets boosted for Game of Thrones, and fine. And she's fine on Game of Thrones. And I'm not trying to, like, take a dump on her as a human being. She's gone through some shit. If you've read the article, she had, like, 2 brain surgeries and shit. So I got a respect for her as a human being. I haven't seen her as an actor do too much for me. And her as Sarah Connor did not work for me. But she was capable in the role.
Yeah, I would agree, but I wouldn't go with she was terrible. Like, she was capable.
No, she was okay. But whoever played Kyle Reese, who was the mother? Oh, Jai Courtney. We're talking about Jai Courtney, right? Yeah, Jai Courtney can fucking fall off a building. He was terrible.
Can I just say one thing?
Yes.
In Terminator 1, Michael Biehn, okay, no one's replacing Michael Biehn as Reese. He's the fucking man. That is a sad story of how this one actor has not done better in Hollywood. I don't get it.
Oh, Michael Biehn?
Yeah.
Oh, totally, man. Yeah. He deserved a better fate than he got.
He got the dark fate.
Well, hey, the only fate is what we make for ourselves, baby.
Well, I guess. Who knows what's going on? I want to say this. Obviously, you can extrapolate and also you see in Terminator 1 that these guys are starving, hungry, fucking like bones, like they're just all skin and bone, barely surviving. Yet somehow Jai Courtney is this muscle-bound, taking away
like boulder shoulders.
In the gym. Who is this guy?
He has to have like the cowboy stance. His fucking quads are too big, his fucking thighs, so he's gotta like walk with his knees at like 90-degree angles and shit. Yeah, fuck this guy. Well, that's not his fault. That's a casting problem.
But you're Jai Courtney. You want to say, okay, well, who's the character I'm fucking playing? You don't need to get fucking jacked before the camera's here, man.
They should have got Christian Bale, because he would have fucking gone down to the machinist weight and been this disgusting waif of a skeleton and played it that way. That would have made sense. Man, fuck that guy. He can't act, which is also a problem. So
I just got one word to say. I just needed a sequel about Sergeant Candy, and that's it.
Jesus. But here's the thing. I liked the story. I liked what they did. They did something different. They're like, we're going to do something different. We're going to twist this shit around. And I liked that. Everybody who was, other than Arnold, everybody who was in the movie sucked. All of the actors were the wrong actors for the role. But I feel like If they'd had better actors in that movie, I think it would have been more successful. That's what I think. Because I think the story was fine.
I'm gonna do my best Arnold impression that I can since I've been drinking. Fuck you, asshole. No way! Fuck this shit, man! No way.
Wow.
No.
That sounds more like your Bill Paxton impression.
This fucking bullshit. There, that's
I'm not even going to try. But listen, Terminator Genesis, I'm not going to defend it to anybody. I get it. All right,
Anyways.
That's fine. Nobody digs it. It's not great. I liked it, but that's where I'm at on it. And I would have. I thought that it was cool. They tried to do a thing with it. But listen,
hate the fucking retcon bullshit, man.
no, it wasn't a retcon. With the Terminator franchise, with the whole thing, there are alternate timelines. And that's set up in the first one where Reese is like, it's one possible future. So right there, he sets up that there are different things that can happen. So that's how it kind of works.
You're looking for an excuse for its
I'm not
existence.
looking for no. I'm not looking for an excuse, Harry. The filmmakers were looking for an excuse, and it's James Cameron's fault because he looked for an excuse when he made Terminator 2. I feel like if Jimmy was looking for an excuse, then everybody else is justified. And he produced this one. He was heavily involved with this one.
So they say. Guys working on fucking Avatar 20 without releasing Avatar 2.
Yeah, he is working on Avatar 20. Yeah, fuck James Cameron. No, he was pretty involved with this one. I'm pretty sure he was right in there. He wasn't day to day, but he was right up in that shit. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been made. But okay, so we're 45 minutes in. How about we talk about the movie that we're talking about? Let's talk about the movie we're talking about.
Hey, I'm in, man. I'm running out of whiskey. I'm gonna have.
Okay, let's dive into this motherfucker. All right, Terminator. Dark Fate. Let's start with a quick flashback. Remember that totally awesome movie, Terminator 2? The one where a cybernetic Arnold Schwarzenegger has to protect an annoying little dipshit from a shape-shifting assassin from the future in order to preserve the future of mankind, all with the help of the kid's psychotic mom? Yeah, that was fucking awesome. Okay, well, all that shit didn't matter. Sorry, everybody. Sorry, buddy. 3 years after all of that, John Connor, future leader of the human resistance, gets totally blown away on a beach in Guatemala in front of his mom. The assassin, the Terminator himself. Didn't they prevent Judgment Day? Okay, so fast forward a couple decades. The cycle continues. This time, the target is Dani Ramos, car factory worker, and her protector is an enhanced human soldier, Grace. And the Terminator is an advanced machine called the Rev 9, a metal endoskeleton under a liquid metal candy coating. I wonder what flavor. During the pursuit, who shows up?
Sriracha.
Sriracha. Sriracha flavored Terminator with a toffee interior. Who shows up? None other than Sarah Connor. And she's got a huge hard-on for that Terminator. With some heavy weapons and a few quips, she slows down the machine and the whole gang sets out for Mordor. Okay, let's just take a break for some exposition here. How did Sarah know how to find them anyway? Turns out she's been getting some mysterious text messages for years with exact coordinates of arriving Terminators. And then she fucks them right up. Who's sending them? Who knows? What about Skynet and all that shit? And Judgment Day and John Connor? Now, Grace has no idea what any of that garbage is. Our evil AI is called Legion. You never heard of John, and I don't know anybody in this shit. I'm here to protect Dani because it's she, not some dude who's the future savior of humanity. Okay, good. We all speak. So now what? Grace has some coordinates tattooed on her person, so maybe they should go there? Okay, so they gotta sneak across the border from Mexico to Texas. That's easy enough. Alright, a few border agents get pretty fucked up by the Rev 9 Terminator in the process, but hey, at least they won't be taking children away from their parents anymore, so it's fine. Alright, they make it to the coordinates in Texas. The door opens and oh shit, it's the Terminator. Nope, not this new guy. No, it's not Robert Patrick. Nope, no, it's not Sam Worthington. It's the OG, baby. Arnie, the T-800 Terminator, the one who wasted John Connor on that beach 20 years ago. And Sarah, yeah, she's pissed. Turns out the Terminator, having completed his mission, freed from Skynet, finds a conscience and a purpose with his new drapery business. Anyway, he's the one who's been texting Sarah all these years with the locations of the Terminators. By using some temporal displacement, detection, bullshit something. Listen, the details aren't important. What matters is he feels like shit for cooking John. Okay, I gotta do that over again. It's not that funny, but I forgot I wrote it, so. Oh shit. Alright, what was that?
Cooking John.
Alright. Details aren't important. He feels like shit for cooking John like a hot dog. And shit. I feel like Joaquin Phoenix right now.
Oh, man. That was a good cut.
All right. What's important is he feels like shit for cooking John like a hot dog and needs to help Sarah kill some bad guys to make up for it. Whew, okay, all right. So let's get to it. So the Rev 9 is coming. So what do? The plan is to set up a trap and kill him. All right, that's simple enough. So we get some more chasing. There's like a military plane and a dam, and fuck it. The final showdown occurs in this industrial landscape with lots of machinery and shit and some steam. We never seen that before. And the Terminator and Grace sacrifice themselves to save Danny and destroy the Rev 9. And I guess that's it. The end. So Terminator Dark Fate, man, right there. So, yeah, initial thoughts. I need a drink.
That sounds a lot like T2. You put that on paper, I'm saying, this is a sequel? What are we doing here?
It feels very much just like a rehash. And I think that might be the problem with the franchise, though. You know what I mean? If you take a look at T2, pretty much a remake of T1, like very similar. And then T3, same thing. Salvation can fuck off. And obviously Genesis isn't really a rehash of that, but this is following the same thing. A machine comes back from the future, kill a fucker, and they got to run from it and eventually destroy it.
Well, I don't know about you, but the first thing I think of is soft reboot, a la The Force Awakens. I mean, this is a trend in Hollywood that it's a business decision in order to keep franchises viable for new generations. They want to reboot it in a soft reboot kind of way, where they bring in the old characters, and repeat the story. So the old characters are no longer really, they're kind of what the Star Wars franchise likes to call the original three, the legacy characters. So here's your legacy characters. Oh, Arnold, old Linda Hamilton. Fuck John Connor. We gotta find a reason to get rid of him. Oh yeah, he's still alive. Now I gotta have a new John Connor who will then continue onwards. Whether it's a male or a female, in this case it's a female, we have a new bad Terminator, a new protector Terminator, we have a new John Connor. We'll restart the story with the hope that new audiences, younger audiences, carry this franchise into the future. Because Hollywood has no other fucking ideas to think about or create themselves. Even if they do, it's not just Hollywood's problem. Part of it is our problems when Hollywood does come up with different franchise ideas. For example, Valerian is one example, recent example that came through, no matter what you thought about the movie. Did you see Valerian in that 1,000 Planet kind of thing?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of the movie, but I appreciate its style from Luc Besson. And it's not a great movie, but point being, I'm using that as an example, is audiences don't give it a chance, these new franchises a chance, so Hollywood's forced to rely on these old IPs and try and reboot them for new people so they can keep making money.
Yeah, I guess let's do a little aside here on that particular thought there. And you're not wrong. If Valerian was a good movie, we'd have a new franchise.
But I agree. But it's not that great. It was not good.
Fucking terrible.
I just used that on the top of my head example.
No, but that's actually a good example to bring up. And I dig Luc Besson as a filmmaker. Like, he's made some pretty dope films, but it's so bad.
I think the story was okay. It was the actors they chose to portray those. My goodness.
It was totally miscast, for sure. The story was fine, but there are movies out there where the story is fine, but the movie's not good because it's not well executed, right? Like, it's not edited well. The dialogue's not written well. And the casting was an egregious error in Valerian, for sure. Like, they were fucking brutal.
Oh, yeah.
Brutal. And it's a shame. Because you're right, it was cool. There's potential there. Whose fault is that? It's not Hollywood's fault. They gave Luc Besson that money to make that movie. I don't know that I can litigate Hollywood's problems with franchise movie making and stuff. I mean, every Terminator sequel, so T1, successful. T2, very successful. And every Terminator sequel after that has bombed. They keep making them, which is weird, right?
Very weird.
Like, T3 didn't do well. They did okay, I think.
No, I think T3 made good money.
But it didn't make enough to continue in that. Like, they could have made a T4 with...
I think it made money. I think just at that point, Arnold went into politics.
Yeah, I guess so. Then they made Salvation, and it didn't do well. And Genesis bombed, and Dark Fate is bombing hard.
Oh, yeah. Huge.
Shit. Like, what are they doing? I don't know, man. Let it die, man. Like, you should let it die.
Well, I mean...
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves. That's my first instinct off your plot.
Yeah.
Is that I've heard this before. I've seen this before. Why are we doing this? Why are we fucking around with these iconic characters and making them essentially obsolete, namely John Connor here. Why can't I have a movie with John Connor? You want to recast him
That's
again?
actually a really
That's
good
fine.
question.
Why
That's a
can't
really
it
good
be with John Connor? Why can't it be, as we talked about, they're moving towards the future? Say you want to forget Rise of the Machines, Terminator 3, so be it. Remake it, do a different one. You have your opportunity. That seems to be the in thing. They're doing it with all the franchises, ignoring certain sequels, so they can do it right this time. But then they don't do that. They reboot. It's a soft reboot. It's not a real continuation. And that's my problem. I don't get it.
I'm with you on that. I mean, this is a direct sequel to T2. This is like T3 Redux. Like, forget.
That's right. Rise of the Machines, yeah.
Yeah, they forget the other stuff, right? Like, T3 never happens, Salvation never happens, Genesis doesn't happen, or they're in alternate timelines or whatever. This is what happens. And man, yeah, I know, I'm with you on that. It's because it is a true sequel to T2, but okay, let's just get into the film and then we can talk about the shit as the film plays out. So, and I actually liked how the film opened with the flashback. We see the video of Sarah Connor in the mental institution there.
That was awesome. When I saw that, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I'm wrong. You're gripping me because that's one of the best scenes of T2.
Yeah.
You're setting up the tension. You're setting up the anxiety. You're reminding us of what the stakes are and who this character is of Sarah Connor. And I was really gripped right off the bat. Excellent open film.
Yeah. And like, Sarah she is insane, but she's not wrong. Like, the whole situation drives her mad. And that's a really important feature here of T2 and of this character. The knowledge of this, the burden drives her insane, right? Mm-hmm. That's great. This is important setup. I was like, when it opened this, I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. In fact, I was hoping we were going to see Dr. Silverman, but imagine him. He's living in a fucking cave somewhere, right? Because he saw the T-1000. He knows that it's real. I don't know. Maybe he's dead now. I don't know. But anyway.
Another bad joke they threw him in there in that cemetery scene. I forget why he was there. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just for a gag. Just so he could shit his pants and run away again.
Have him in the movie. In fact, I don't know if you ever watched the TV show, the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
I think I watched the first few episodes and I meant to watch more, but then I got busy with life and so on, and then I realized it was canceled, and it's like, if it continued and had a long run, I would have watched everything.
Kind of had the same thing. Yeah, I watched the entire first season, and then whatever, life happened, and I didn't get a chance to continue on with it. But he wasn't the same actor, but that character showed up, and he was like a cabin in the woods, like doomsday prepper situation there. That would have been a neat thing to explore. That should have been Terminator 3. It's just about Dr. Silverman building a bunker and shit.
Even in Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, the best scene would have been that he's doing that doomsday bunker prep, and then the bombs go off, and he's like at target zero.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, fuck. He just throws the rag down, and it's like that's...
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, so the movie opens with that, and then with Sarah and John on a beach in Guatemala. And I'd heard that Edward Furlong's in the movie. We got him back from the movie. And they just basically have a CGI 15-year-old Edward Furlong getting just shotgunned in the fucking chest by the Terminator. Just blown right away. I was like, oh, fuck. So this is a pretty important scene. Here's what I was thinking when I was watching. I was like, they basically Alien 3'd Terminator 2.
Oh, yeah. That's what they did. 100%. Yeah.
But was that necessary? I was angry, but then I was like, I felt a need to watch the rest of that movie.
So this was the most interesting part. I wanted to hear what you had to say, because T2 I knew was your favorite film. So I was more curious at how this played out for you. I mean, for me, I was very angry. I'm saying, really? Do we not have... You could argue it's a different timeline, so then in another timeline, John Connor's still leader of the Resistance. And this is just a segue, a split in time, and now we're in a different dimension or a different universe, and he gets shot. My question is, where did this fucking Terminator come from? I mean, why does Skynet not plump out thousands of Terminators? Why is it just these 1 or 2 or 3 guys and that's it? Because apparently every time we have a movie, it's like, oh, it's only one. Oh, now we thought only one came back. Oh, they sent one more. Oh, now it's the third one came through. It's like, why don't they just send 5,000 or 5 million Terminators and just get it done? Fuck John Connor. He won't matter. You send 5,000 Terminators, your mission is complete. It's done.
No, I agree. Yeah.
So I find that ridiculous. I don't like this kind of logic loophole nonsense because it just opens up Pandora's box. So I didn't like it. And then I know what they're doing is that we talked about the soft reboot, so I don't like that. Why can't we have a movie with John Connor? Recast him if you don't want to use Edward Furlong. Be that as it may, I agree with you. You see this happen, you're interested because Sarah's devastated. Now I'm curious to hear what you think, because I know you're not a fan of the Uncanny Valley situation here. I thought the de-aging effects were fucking fantastic in these scenes. The only one that kind of looked bizarre was Arnold.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Linda Hamilton looked fantastic. She looked straight out of T2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, is this a deleted scene from Terminator 2? It looked great. Same with John Connor. The only one that was weird, Arnie. That looked completely fake and CGI to me.
Yeah, no, so I'll just qualify. I'm a fan of the de-aging makeup. I'm not a fan of the resurrecting of a dead actor. And I railed against this in Rogue One with Peter Cushing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like zombie Tarkin. I was like, oh, fuck that. But I'm fine with the de-aging when they use the actual actor and then just de-age them. I'm fine with that. So yeah, you're right. Yeah, Linda Hamilton looked like right out of T2. I thought the same thing too. It's like, is this a deleted scene? It was great.
Yeah.
But the Arnold, I was actually not sure it was Arnold. They used a body double, obviously. And he didn't have the same physique as Arnold. So I was like, no, okay. It was like Arnold adjacent.
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
They found a guy who has a big back.
Yeah.
Same height, big back, and then they plug the CGI Arnie's face onto it. So
his arms weren't big enough. He had the big back, but his arms, maybe his legs were too small. Like, it wasn't Arnold. It's fine. Like, I can live with, they did a good job with Linda Hamilton, and I don't know if they actually got Edward Furlong. Like, they didn't de-age him 40 years or whatever. Like,
no, I think they pasted his face
yeah,
onto a kid. Yeah, young teenager. So
it worked. Like, it looked good.
Yeah, no, it looked great. I mean, I'm with you on that. Because of that, you're kind of hooked, unfortunately. I have to say, unfortunately.
Awesome. Let's do this. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to really go down that way. It's just, if you want to kill John Connor, then proceed without a John Connor type character. That's where I come from. Let's do a different story. John Connor's now gone. He's out of the picture. What the fuck does that mean for the future of humanity's resistance against the machines? Whether you want to call it Skynet or Legion or whatever, he's gone. The problem is you're just replacing John Connor with John Connor.
Yes.
And that I have a problem with. Why? And that's what I brought up to begin with, is it's a business decision. They're trying to extend the life out of this franchise instead of doing the franchise justice.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Something similar they're doing with Star Wars.
Well, I don't know.
Anyways, let's not talk about Star Wars. I'm just saying that's the trend in Hollywood. So we'll move on.
All right. So that's how the film opens. It's a shocker for sure. I mean, you're watching now at this point. Let's kind of talk about the first act. Get introduced to our new principal hero, Danny, her protector, which is what's her name, and Grace. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And Sarah Connor's thrown in there. So we get introduced to Danny. She's working at a car factory in Mexico City with her brother. She lives with her brother and dad. There's some intimation there with like the machines are taking over because she takes her brother's job. We get the introduction to the new Terminator, the Rev 9, whatever that fucking means. So let's go up to where we got the chase on the bridge. Sarah Connor shows up. Let's kind of break down that piece here. Why don't you have the first at bat here?
Okay. Well, I'm actually a fan of the first act, surprisingly. After that beginning, and I'm very angry, I found myself engaged. I like the setup. I like the fact that this Terminator, the Rev 9, which is a shitty name. I mean, why don't you call it like iOS or Windows 2.1 or whatever it is?
Yeah.
You know? Like, what kind of fucking software? What is this Rev 9?
Yeah, what is Rev 9? Yeah.
Anyway, be that
he's
as
the Revinator.
Yeah, he's a Revan. Good call. Yes. Point being, I like how the Terminator came out of, he was right on the money. He shows up. There's no bullshit. I'm not showing up at some weird other place. I got the coordinates. I'm showing up at the fucking apartment complex, ready to do business.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like the setting in Mexico City. I thought that was fresh. I was saying, oh yeah, you're seeing the people on the trains. You're seeing their way of life. You're seeing the collar workers. I was digging it. I was digging the vibe. So I was engaged that way. I like the brother. I like the relationship between Danny, her father, her brother. I like that family dynamic, even though you're not lingering on it too much. But you didn't have to spend too much time to get invested. So I like that aspect. I liked Grace's first appearance as well. I want to kind of do a quick segue. I'm a fan of Mackenzie Davis. There was a fabulous, I'm sure you've seen it, the Black Mirror episode, I forget what it's called, where she has that relation, they got AI or kind of virtual reality relationship with the other girl. I like that episode.
San Junipero.
Yeah, San Junipero. Great episode.
Great episode.
Great episode.
One of my favorite 60 minutes of TV of my entire fucking life.
I wouldn't put it that far, but it is
top 3 for me.
It is
but anyway,
top-notch TV episode for a standalone, definitely. I think I've seen her in a couple other things. I mean, she wasn't great in Blade Runner 2049. She didn't have a big part anyways. But she was in The Martian. She's been in other things that I've liked her in. So I think she has a promising career as an actor. I dig her in general. I did like these beginning scenes with her when she's introduced. You have the Mexican couple fooling around. You see her. You see the fallout. She has to start flipping cops around and stuff. I hear a lot of people talking about how she's not sexy and all that stuff, but really, fuck that shit. It's not the point. Like, we don't need to sexualize her as she came through the time machine naked. I mean, who gives a fuck? It doesn't matter. I don't understand why people focus on that stuff. That wasn't never the point of anybody, except when they made that point in with the Terminatrix and she started inflating her boobs.
Yeah.
So, as we talked about, which was a dated joke, or inappropriate joke. So, I'm glad they didn't go that route, but I'm also glad they didn't shy away from it. And kudos to Mackenzie Davis for going in the buff there in those scenes. So I liked her introduction. They don't kind of shy away and have that kind of repetition of T1, T2 where you don't really know who's the good guy and bad guy in that sense. Because you kind of get that sense right off the bat that this Rev 9, spoiled in the trailers anyways, but even within the movie's context, it's spoiled right away that he's the bad guy. So, yeah. And she's kind of the good guy, but she's tough. And you don't really know. Is she a Terminator or something else? You assume she's a Terminator, metal Terminator, whatever we want to call it. I like the scenes in the factory. I thought they were well shot. I especially like the chase. I thought that was reminiscent to T3 and T2. Good chase with the truck and the brother dying. I was a fan of all of these action sequences. They were filmed very well. It was competent. I was engaged, and that was good. I want to give a shout out to the actress or actor who plays Danny. I liked her grief when she realizes her brother is dead and her realization that her father seems to try to be murdering her, like that kind of shock and disbelief in the factory scene. So I liked her acting in these scenes. So I was a fan of the first act. Like you're saying all the way up to Sarah Connor coming out. I'm not a fan of how she was really introduced. Just shows up, steps right out of the car like a video game. It's moving.
You don't like
stepping
that?
Out. I like the aftermath where she kind of blows up the Terminator and then drops a grenade and says, I'll be back. And I like that stuff. I just didn't really like how it's not her. It's the director and the second unit director, whoever's directing this action scene and the cinematographer. I don't really think they captured it well. I like her look. I just don't like her stepping out of that car as the car's kind of sliding. And I mean, we're kind of pushing Fast and the Furious kind of situation here. It's video game. It's not, I don't know, it's too modern. I don't know. I'm put off by that shit, man. So I'm not a fan of the execution of how she was introduced, but I'm at the edge of my seat saying, oh, sweet, she's back. What next? So that's where you were calling it this first act. So let me hear your thoughts.
I was angry after they just like smoked John Connor on the first scene, basically, like done. As soon as that happened, I'm like, all right, this is Alien 3 now. Like, fuck you. Why did I watch Terminator 2 for? You're just gonna take a shit in my mouth now. Thanks, guys. But then I'm like, to their credit, I was glued to my seat. Like, I needed to know. I was like, well now what? I don't know. I'm mixed on that initial thing, right? And I'm just like, okay, I can get over it. Just watch the movie here.
Kudos to you. I'm surprised. I figured that this would be a sticking point for you.
Well, like I would have been angry about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, then I am. And it is a sticking point for me. But at the same time, I don't know. If you're making a Terminator movie now, history's been changed. Or the future's been changed, however you want to word it, right? So you know that things are going to be different. So coming into the movie, I knew that things were going to be different. I didn't think they were going to kill John Connor in the first fucking scene. But I assumed he wasn't a player in this future. I don't like that they pull the rug out from under me from a movie that I love, as you've said, if we've said it's my favorite movie, and they're like, well, fuck that shit. We're doing another thing. Like, fuck you. And then you brought up the comparison to The Force Awakens. And at least in The Force Awakens, they didn't say, all right, well, Luke's dead now and everything. Luke just died in a bar somewhere. Anyway, he was drinking and somebody just stabbed him in the balls and he died. They didn't do that.
You could argue went back to try and get some power converters and just overloaded on death sticks. That might have been a better way.
Yeah, you want some death sticks? Yeah, well, I'll have some death sticks. And then he died from the death sticks because they're called death sticks.
Imagine that in the opening crawl, episode 7. Death sticks!
Yeah. Death sticks! Exclamation point.
Yeah, like 3 of them.
Dead. Like, that's basically what they did. That was the opening crawl. It's exactly what they did here. John Connor, that sticks. I mean, I kind of liked how bold they were with it. It's just like the Terminator walked up, shotgunned this little kid in the fucking chest, and then he was still alive.
I just love the fact that he just calmly walks away as well.
He's just, he's the Terminator. He didn't give a fuck. But he just, like, he blew him away, and then he was still alive, and then he shot him again. I was like, what? Like, I don't like it.
Did he? I thought it was only one shot.
He shot him twice. He shot him, he was on the ground, he was, like, coughing, he was bleeding, and then he went up and shot him again to make sure. And, like, nice. It's like, okay, that's pretty sweet. But that was at least an honest way to do it. They're just like, yeah, that's what we're doing. Fuck you. I don't mind when the filmmaker says, remember this thing? You know this thing? Fuck you. We're doing this now. Fuck you. At least he's got balls. You might not like it, but at least it was ballsy. I'll respect that. So as I was watching it, as traumatized, I was like, okay, well, that took some balls. Okay. It was an odd dichotomy of emotions for me because I was really angry at the start. I was like, why are you taking a dump on, like, Terminator came out in 1991. I was 12 years old when I saw Terminator 2. And that had a fucking impact on me as a person. And that was 8 years ago? 29, whatever, 27 years ago? I can't do math right now. I'm drunk. So now, and I've watched every Terminator movie, and I've been carrying the flame, and you're just going to put a shotgun onto my balls and pull the trigger. Like, how dare you? But I was glued to my seat, man. I was watching the movie, and as I realized that about myself, I'm like, well, I'm still here, and I'm watching the movie, and I need to know what happens. Then, like, I respected it. I'm like, all right, well, I'll give you a few minutes to make this work. Mm-hmm. And the first act, I think, did a good job with that. The new characters, fine. We don't really know what's going on, but the chase scene, like the action at the start, that was good. So
yeah, very similar to both, kind of a hybrid between T2 and T3, their chase scenes.
Yeah, very much.
Why don't you kind of give a bit more detail quickly about the characters? Who stood out for you in this first act? And then also touch upon seeing Sarah again, her introduction.
Danny didn't really stand out for me. The brother didn't really stand out for me. The dad didn't really stand out for me. Like, they were all certainly capable. Like, nobody was making me cringe. And we know from the trailers that Danny is one of the principal actors here. And like, she was fine. I don't remember her from anything else. I don't know if I've ever seen her before. So she was certainly fine. I really dug Grace. Mackenzie Davis was very good. Nobody was blowing me away at this point, but there's a lot of action going on, right? You know, nobody's really getting their hooks into me from their performance. They're just dodging bullets at this point, and which is fine. So it was all working. Man, when Linda Hamilton stepped onto the scene, I know what you're saying. Like, she steps out of the car and it's a little cheesy, but I dug that, man. Fuck, she owned that shit. I was actually really surprised at how good she was. The last time I saw her was on the TV show Chuck.
Same here. She was rusty.
Yeah, she was rusty. She wasn't great on the show. So that's I was expecting kind of more of that, but she was so good. Stepping out of there, she just embodied the role. Like, it's like, okay, Sarah Connor's there. Yeah, I'm fine that John Connor got blown away on a beach in Guatemala as a fucking 10-year-old. That's fine. Or a 15-year-old, I guess. I was fine with that. Like, Sarah Connor's back. I was so happy to see her. I thought she was great. A little on the nose with, okay, I'll be back shit, but all right, that's fine. It's Terminator. It's okay. She was good.
Okay.
So the characters kind of got together. So let's move into sort of the next phase of the film here, which is more of this is sort of the pursuit. Sarah gets together with Danny and Grace, and this is very exposition heavy part of the movie where we learn about the new future. We understand, so obviously John's dead. Judgment Day, original Judgment Day never happened. It happens again in some point in the future. Let's talk about this new timeline. The new AI called Legion and the role that Danny plays and Grace's augmentation. Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. Where do you want to start there?
Well, we can talk about Legion. As I hinted at before, I don't have a problem with... I mean, what happens here is essentially this movie is saying Skynet was destroyed because of T2. So they succeeded. But we're not stopping the advancement of learning AI, humanity still succumbing to weapons development, robotics development, these kind of facets here that can destroy us. Maybe it's our destiny that we will still destroy ourselves. So I like that message. I got no problem with that. You want to call it Legion now? Great. Doesn't have a good name as Skynet does. Legion just sounds like a fucking band name.
Oh, yeah, it does. Terrible.
It's a terrible name. But conceptually, no issue at all. And I kind of like the fact that if you're going down this route, at least you say, we still stopped Skynet. So I like that that means John and Sarah succeeded. So I guess that's kind of giving permission for John to die, I guess. I don't know.
I guess, yeah. The future where he was the savior doesn't exist anymore, so
Bye.
Fuck that kid. See ya.
So,
See ya, dude.
Eddie Furlong, we don't want to pay you $1 million.
Yeah.
Essentially,
We don't want to
this
pay
is
you
what it is.
$20. $20.
Yeah. I wonder if it came down to that. Is it just they wanted to really reboot this and it was because Edward Furlong's not 50 years old. He's what? He's probably in his mid 40s, I would guess, or early 40s.
Yeah, I guess so. He's like our age. So like late 30s to mid 40s, I guess, right?
So you could get on a diet and get into shape. Saw him on an interview lately and he's a bit chubby, but not too bad. And he's just vaping and probably on weed. And
that's
all
what we
that
should have
shit,
had
so.
is a fat John Connor.
Why not? Why not? Why can't he be slightly overweight and realizing, oh shit, I still got something to do? That's okay. There's a story. I'm okay. The explanation's fine. I don't care about this Legion thing. I think the setup is kind of weak. And I have a question here. If it's kind of AI, I get that to do infiltration that they have to have kind of a mold of a human being. Why does their Terminator look exactly like those endoskeletons from before? Pretty much.
Oh, totally.
Very minor variances. They're exactly the fucking same. So if Skynet didn't exist, that kind of loop was closed, right? Because they solved it. Even though there's still a little loophole, because Arnie still lost his arm in T2 in that thing, which was never resolved.
We can talk about that. We can talk about that.
Well, anyways, I think it's just a loophole in the plot hole in the movie, but be that as it may, why is it exactly the same? Pretty much have, with a very minor variances, it's exactly the same kind of Terminators we've seen before. It's just a hybrid of the T-800 and the T-1000 is what this Rev 9
is what the TX was as well.
Yeah. Well, the TX at least was built around a bit more energy. Like she had energy-based weapons built into.
Well, yeah, but it was still like a metal endoskeleton surrounded by the liquid metal, right?
Yeah. So you're not doing anything new. So I guess that's my problem. And again, coming back to the original comment, it just feels like a soft reboot. So I don't see anything new. And that's one problem I have in the second act. So we can talk about other things in the second act. I think your comment was about Legion and what else?
Well, no, I was just like
it's exposition heavy, like this new timeline.
It is.
I mean,
second act in T1 and T2 are also exposition heavy. Like we need to explain what's going on. And that's fine. I'm all right.
That's fine. I mean, but this is the same movie as the other movie.
Yes.
Okay, well, we just have AI forming. They destroy humanity. It's just at a different date now. And yeah, it's machines versus humans, and now there's a new John Connor.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And they're sending a Terminator back and a Protector back to protect her. Simple as that. There's nothing else to talk about.
No, there's not. And I guess the problem I have with that is it's kind of a muddled message, right? Because in T2, well, he doesn't actually say it in T2. It's only in the extended edition. It's not in the theatrical version, but they repeat the line verbatim in this. It's like, there's no fate. Oh, no, he does say it. John Connor says it in T2. There's no fate what we make for ourselves,
that's
right?
That's right, yeah.
But that's not true, right?
No.
This is inevitable.
Yep.
Machine takeover is inevitable. And that's what kind of bugs me about these movies is, well, there's no fate what you make for yourselves, except for the fact that you're all going to die because you create AI and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, it's going to happen no matter what. So, sorry.
That's the one strength of T2 is that it felt inevitable in T1.
The closed loop, yeah.
Closed loop. But T2 kind of expanded that and said we can stop it because we can choose that. And I love that message. And it's a hopeful message for humanity moving forward.
Yeah.
Problem is humanity's fucking dumb. So that's a real fucking message. So I like both messages. I like that hopeful message that we can change the future and we can stop some shit from happening or actually make some positive changes if we want to relate it to real life. Problem also is that systems fucking in place and humans are stupid and we're all greedy motherfuckers. So we're going to not learn the lessons and the inevitable will still happen. It just might be delayed. So I appreciate that message, and that was kind of the same message that Terminator 3 had, which I appreciate.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that message, but I feel like they don't deliver it as a message. Like, they just kind of make a movie, and it's
right. And that's the thing. I think Terminator 3 had that message delivered better by the end of the movie.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from there. Yeah, just nothing you can do. I think, and it's been a while since I've watched T3, where they kind of like, it's just going to happen, but you can fight, and you can win, but you have to fight. Like, you can't prevent it. You just have to do it. And that's fine. I don't know if it was that clear in T3, but I feel like that's what happened. But this is just like, well, they didn't get that far here. No. This didn't get into that at all. This didn't get into any of the, like, we can prevent it or we can't. It's inevitable.
No, and the message was it's a clear reboot. Because Grace came back and volunteered to come back. I don't know if you want to talk about it in these scenes. or group them in these scenes, but that's her motivation. It was a different motivation than what Kyle had to come back as a protector, but somewhat similar is that she felt she owed it to her for saving her.
Kind of similar because Kyle came back because he loved her, right?
Well, yes and no, but he was more fascinated with the legend.
Well, he says the line, like, she's like, I came back because I love you, and I always have. But I feel like that's kind of the same thing with Grace, is I love you, like, different kind of love, so that's why I came back.
I understand. I mean, I agree. It's not exactly the same, but you could identify it the same. So the motivations are all the same.
Yes.
There's no difference here.
Yeah.
What did you think of Grace's reliance on all these meds?
You know what? I actually dug it. And the reason why is because, like, gave her a weakness. Like, she wasn't just a superhero. Like, she could do what she could do, but it wasn't indefinite. Like, it gave her a weakness. I thought that was a really interesting wrinkle that they gave her. It's like, you have basically, like, 90 seconds. And if you don't beat the Terminator within 90 seconds, you're dead anyway. So I thought that was really interesting. We're going to overpower your body. It'll give you more than you can handle. So you can destroy the Terminator. And then if you don't, well, you're dead anyway. So whatever. It's fine.
I like that wrinkle or layer that they're giving to character. And it adds for a couple of funny scenes, I guess. They're in the drugstore in Mexico and they can't speak the language or whatnot, but they're trying to get the meds from behind the counter and she eventually just says, fuck it, I'm just going to take it because she doesn't have a lot of time. And I like those scenes because it leads somewhere. My problem with this is that it's not consistent. It feels like when the story calls for it later on in the movie, she's the Energizer Bunny. She can go on for hours without requirement, right? It's just not consistent. I like the wrinkle. I like the layer. It's just for story purposes, they don't stay consistent with that weakness.
I mean, I agree what you're saying is it comes up when it needs to come up and then doesn't when it doesn't. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. It's not that consistent, but it's there. Yeah, I don't know.
So that's my problem. If you want to introduce this, you don't even need to explain it the rest of it. Just see her occasionally take something out of the pocket. Well,
we'll talk about it in the third act, but
her power source, or whatever she has that helps augment, comes up in the third act. The reliance on the medication and how depleted she is in terms of energy or health or whatever, or toxicity or whatever it may be, that she needs these meds. It doesn't come up after this first portion of getting the drugs in the drugstore and the hotel room.
It does a couple times because Arnold gives her the syringe right on the dam there. It's like, you left this in the plane and she needs the...
I can't remember. Maybe it did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's like glitching out when they're like on the before they go inside the facility in the dam. Remember when Arnold like comes sliding down the dam there? She's messed up. She's going to die. And he gives her the syringe. He's like, you left this on the plane. So she injects herself so she has some more juice.
Unfortunately, I do not. But I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. Well, you're drinking so much, man. You gotta cut down.
I guess I should have been paying more attention, or the movie should have made me feel I should pay more
that's
attention.
fair. You know, that's fair. That's a fair critique right there.
I don't want to skip over Sarah here. But there's some character beats that she has. We're talking about, I don't know, you might be bringing it up, but she says she knows she drinks. She just hunts Terminators.
Yes.
And then you bring up the fact that she gets coordinates every time, so that's why she showed up and so on. But I don't know if in all of these scenes that she says, I'm tired of being Mother Mary and someone else could do it and you're the new John. And are you kind of grouping these scenes all together here?
Well, you know,
in the movie?
I feel like Linda Hamilton's doing a really good job here.
I'll say this, though. She did an okay job. I think she was a bit rusty still. I like her weathered look. I just feel that acting-wise, it didn't hit all the right beats, but I think it improved the third act, surprisingly, for me, with Sarah Connor, with Linda Hamilton.
See, I don't know. I think I disagree because I thought she was really good, and I thought the character was consistent. Okay, so there's one scene in particular where they're sitting on top of the train car, and she's ranting on like, oh yeah, they just want to kill your womb. You're going to give birth to this man who's going to save humanity and all this shit. That was really consistent with T2. Like there's that scene where she's sitting right after she doesn't kill Miles Dyson, sitting there smoking, and the Terminator lays out the future, and she's just like, yeah, men like you thought it up. Like that scene, right?
Yeah.
Remember that? That felt really consistent with that. That felt right to me, that she was just like, yeah, you're going to give birth to this dude, and he's going to be the savior of humanity, and they just wanted to kill you because you have a uterus. That was great. I thought it was great. That was fantastic. I really liked her, and I liked that they carried that forward without obviously carrying it forward. They didn't directly reference it. That was who she was. it was very exposition heavy, but, hey, so was Terminator. That scene has existed in Terminator and Terminator 2, where the future's laid out for us. I thought she played it really well.
Again, I don't want to heavily critique Linda Hamilton here. I mean, I enjoyed every scene she was in. I just felt there was a bit of rust. That's all I would say. I did like the scene that you're talking about where she says it's the other after your womb and all that stuff, and that's giving to the hint that, this Danny's going to give birth to the next leader. That's your twist in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
That, it's not the baby, it's Danny, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, which is fine.
Well, I read that right away. As soon as, because Grace gives her a look, I'm like, okay, well, it's not her kid, it's her. I read that right away, which is fine, doesn't matter.
I don't think took it that way. I was more focused on what Sarah was saying and how she was saying, because my interest was really on Linda Hamilton more than anything else. So I probably didn't pick up on Grace's reaction. But if you say that she kind of gave it away if I ever watch the movie again, then yeah, I'll look for it.
But you won't watch it again, so it doesn't matter.
We'll see. I wouldn't say that.
No, but probably, right?
All right, let's move on. What else we got here in these scenes? What else do you want to talk about?
Well, we're kind of moving past that. They cross the border, so they're in the detention facility for undocumented immigrants. And when they escape from there and get to the coordinates where the mysterious texter is at. So let's talk about the border. So they cross the border, fine. They dig under the impenetrable wall, and they go to the detention facility. So let's talk about that a bit, because that's a pretty big action set. Yeah.
It is. It actually, I enjoyed this set piece, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And what we haven't talked about unfortunate name Rev 9 Terminator.
Yeah.
The one thing I did like in these scenes is I love the fact that he hacked into this kind of computer system in some kind of building or whatever, all this network, which is probably run by the government and the military, and he's trying to track them through drones and stuff like that. And he finds out where they are. And then he pretends to be some colonel or some military commander saying, or some police officer or INS agent saying, we're on the lookout for this. They're in these coordinates here, go after him. And he's using the police to his advantage. He's using all the tools. He's not just saying, I'm going to do everything. I enjoyed that kind of facet. So I liked the intelligence of this Terminator using current tech to not just track down, but to go after his targets. So I enjoyed that. I thought that was very clever and very well done. And the action set piece. I mean, I love that one guy who comes in, and Sarah Connor is still well known throughout the FBI and stuff like that. And he's like all happy. Oh man, where have you been all these years? We're tracking you. I like those scenes. I like the separation of the group there. Builds up some good tension, especially when the Rev 9 comes in and walks in. I guess that's the one little quip I have, is if he was somewhere so far away, all of a sudden he gets there so fast. So be that as it may, whatever movie. Then I like how he goes through the metal detector and he says something and he says, I'm all weapon.
Well, they're like,
he says.
Yeah, he's like, you get a big beat, brother. I'm all weapon, brother, or something like that.
Yeah, he says some line, that was a sweet line.
He says, my whole body's a weapon.
Yeah, my whole body's a weapon. Yeah, I love that line. That's a great line. I thought he played it off really well there. So I like those scenes. And I think it's a great action set piece as he goes out. And also I think Grace finally wakes up too, because the doctors are examining her because she's still kind of out. Because I think the agents came after them, right? And there was a bit of, before they got arrested and sent to the detention facility, as they were crossing the border, they got attacked by INS agents.
Yeah.
I believe so, right? So she got knocked out and they're examining her. They're seeing her enhancements underneath the skin. Those are cool scenes. So I liked all this stuff. I mean, I had no problems here. I was engaged. I liked the escape sequence on the helicopter. I guess the one facet that we have here is that Grace wants to get Danny away at all costs. Grace doesn't care about Sarah, and she shouldn't, because her mission is Danny, and Danny is giving her the orders to wait for Sarah. Very similar to T2, how John was saying, no, we gotta rescue my mom, can't leave without Sarah. So I guess they're replaying the same beats there, but still works. Here, it's a good sequence. And they get away on the helicopter, so I enjoyed it for the most part. There's nothing really more to say there, except for I think they gave Sarah some good action scenes as she's escaping, so I enjoyed that too. I don't have any complaints. It's a solid action sequence. It's not fantastic. I mean, it's not fantastic. I can't tell you it's fantastic.
It's fantastic.
It's okay. It's not fantastic, but it's okay.
End of days.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not fantastic, but it's okay. It's credible.
You guys say it's fantastic. He says it's okay. You see my greatest movie, Terminator Dark Fate.
Yes. He says that in all of his movies, but that's great. That's fine.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's got to self-promote. Yeah.
That's right. He knows his place, man. Actually, this is one of my favorite parts of the movie. I thought it was fantastic, and this is where you actually see And same with the T-1000. Like, Terminators are supposed to be infiltration units. And when you see Arnold, you're like, this dude's not infiltrating shit. The only thing the T-800 is infiltrating is a fucking bodybuilding competition, right?
Yeah.
He's rolling in.
Venice Beach.
You know what I mean? Like, he is like, sees you roll into a bridge club or whatever.
Only the Tech Noir. He only belongs there. So.
Yeah, Tech Noir, exactly. Oh yeah, he fits in Tech Noir, 100%. Can you imagine? Tries to roll into like a poker game or whatever. Like,
You know what I would really would have liked? You've seen those videos where Arnold, in the last few years, he's gone to these gyms with the shitty mustache and shitty disguise. He's giving people pointers on how to work out.
yeah.
Oh man, Rev 9 should have been that.
Come with me if you want to lift.
Yeah. He just tries to go through. He's got like a Mr. Potato head disguise or something like that. One of those, the glasses and
the glue on mustache. That's it.
Yeah, glue on mustache.
Like a porn stash, just 70s porn stash on Arnold. Your arm cool like this.
Yeah, he could have just been talking about working out. That's it. I think that would have improved them tenfold. Easy.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, just the T-800 less, like doing deadlifts.
I will say this. It's unfortunate that Arnold doesn't want to, and this is totally, in my opinion, from Arnold. He never wants to be the bad guy again after T2.
Yeah.
He's never been open to going back into a villainous role, and I think that was a mistake. I think having him go back, even as an older T-800, I think that could have been fascinating.
That would have been cool. That would have been very cool. Yeah.
This movie, instead of having the Rev 9, something happens to his programming, and we could talk about that. I have some thoughts on this T-800, which we'll get to, lingering, waiting, sending texts.
We'll get there.
And doing other things, but I have some other ideas that I think that have helped anyways.
Right.
But I agree with you. Fantastic sequence.
Yeah, very good. It's a really good sequence. But right after this, basically, they track down the coordinates. So Grace has the coordinates tattooed on her body, conveniently. Same coordinates that Sarah has been receiving these text messages from that tell her that Terminators are coming. And who do we discover but none other than the T-800 himself, who put John Connor on a spit and ate him like a marshmallow. Let's stop here for a bit and just mull the fact that the Terminator, the T-800, mowed John Connor like a lawn and then decided to adopt a family, open a drapery business, have a family, and buy a bunch of guns. But I don't know. We got to talk about this, right?
Well, they play it for laughs.
Yeah. And it is funny.
It's funny. There's a sequence where I'm sure you remember. He's telling the story about him in the drapery business, and it is legitimately funny how he's saying, "You cannot do that. I'm adamant you cannot do this. You cannot have that selection." This is great stuff. That's funny.
Yeah.
I love seeing Arnie like this. My problem with this is it takes me out of the movie a little bit. Recently I was watching, this was maybe last month, I was watching Superman the movie, and this was one of Richard Donner's, I'm sure you know the history, we talked about it in the podcast. It was going to be played for gags and laughs and stuff like that, and then Richard Donner and Tom Mankiewicz did a bit of a cleanup on the script and the screenplay.
Yeah.
They made it less, even though there's still some gags in the movie and some camp, but it's not heavily on that.
Right.
It could have been, because his goal was to take it more seriously, to add some believability and to be true to the legacy. My problem here is that when I have the T-800, who is programmed to not just wipe out John Connor, but then if he's accomplished his mission in that facet, why is he still not progressing Skynet to where it needs to go? So Skynet still survives. Sure, John Connor may be gone. There are still other objectives. There would be secondary, tertiary. There'd be a laundry list of objectives to do if he accomplished his first mission. And they completely gloss over that. Fuck that shit. It was just killing this one thing, and now he can go start having a conscience. And I didn't buy it. Took me out of the movie. Even though I enjoyed what I saw because I was laughing and I enjoy Arnie's presence. And I'm glad that I got to see him and Linda Hamilton interact, which is my main joy moving forward.
Yes.
But they kind of had to create a reason for him not to be bad after that point. Well, and that was the reason. And
of course, he's a Terminator.
But it's a detriment to the movie.
Yeah, but don't you think
to the Terminator's agency. I didn't buy it.
But didn't you think that, like, he did realize that Judgment Day didn't happen? Like, he completed his objective.
No, but movie gives the indication that he says, I pretty much believe he says, as soon as I finished my objective, I had no other objective. So I adopted a family. No, but then that's not true. That wouldn't be the case. I don't believe that for an instant.
Well, not necessarily, though, because if you think of it this way, Skynet didn't give a shit after John Connor was killed, right? Because that was the objective. So he's gone. But there's also, consider this though, it was after Judgment Day. Like when he killed John, Judgment Day was 1997, right? August 29th, 1997 was Judgment Day. He kills John Connor. Judgment Day never happened.
So there's a plot hole here. Other Terminators are still coming back. He's texting. He's saying he developed a conscience after killing John. So he could have joined or done something with those other Terminators that are coming through, or not even give Sarah those coordinates, and they would have done their business. Or he's still from a Skynet timeline. So his objective would be to preserve Skynet at whatever cost, beyond his main target.
But here's where I'm going to throw a shit in your stuff, which is a saying, by the way, if you want to look it up, shit in your stuff. It's a learning computer. And the point of T2 is that he learns that there's a value to human life. Sarah Connor says it at the end. Like, here's what's great about T2 and why it's my favorite movie. After all said, they defeat the T-1000. They lower Arnie into the metal or the molten metal to make sure that there's no relics. And then she has sort of the monologue at the end. And she says, and I quote, if a Terminator can learn the value of human life, maybe we can too. That's what she says at the end. Yeah, great line.
Fucking fantastic. You know how they got him to learn? It's canon. It's in the movie. They had to make an adjustment to his CPU.
No, they did.
Yeah, they did.
No. That's not in the movie.
It is in the movie.
No, it's in the extended edition, which is...
Still the movie. That's the whole point.
No. Okay, listen. We can have a debate about this. That's not canon because they cut it. That's not the James Cameron cut. They put it back in the extended edition for fun, but it's not how James Cameron envisions the movie. James Cameron envisions the movie without that scene where they make the addition or they make the switch in his CPU.
Even if that is the case, he even still programmed before he went back in time to be a protector.
Right.
His programming was adjusted before he went.
The learning was adjusted.
To me, man, you're making it Star Trek, which is great. I'm open for that discussion. Problem here is, movie doesn't sell it to me. You're relying on Terminator 2 to try and sell me something in this movie.
Why not? But it's a sequel to Terminator 2. So why can't I use Terminator 2?
Sorry. This movie doesn't give me any inclination that this Terminator, programmed to kill, would not have other secondary objectives to ensure the survival of Skynet.
Well, why?
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
But he didn't.
I don't. Sorry.
But it worked.
Yeah, the movie didn't sell it. You can argue till you're blue in the face. I can't buy it. I can't agree. But let's move on. I will completely disagree. But I still enjoyed Arnie.
These are pretty good scenes.
Hamilton.
It's
a funny scene. It's a bit for laughs. There was one scene where he does the Terminator with the glasses.
He's like looking at him.
And then he goes, nah, that was stupid. I didn't like that scene.
No, I liked it. You know what? The scene I liked where they're like questioning, like, really, dude? Like, you're their dad? And he's like listing off all the shit. He's like, also, I'm very funny.
I did like the scene where he reveals his gun collection. He goes, and it's Texas.
It's Texas. Yeah.
I think that got the biggest laugh.
Yeah, that was pretty good. As
on the nose it is. It's not a clever joke, but it is still funny.
No, sometimes the obvious joke is good. I actually got a little bit of the feels there when he said goodbye to his family. They did a little bit of a cheesy joke there. It's like, I told them I wouldn't be back. And I was like, that's pretty good. I felt it. Like, that was a good way to have him use the line, but...
in a different way.
Like, in a good way. Like, that actually meant something. Like, to me, I was just like, oh, shit. Like, yeah, he's not going to be back.
I guess that's the other question.
My past is catching up with me.
Well, not just that, but is this kind of meta and saying to everybody, this is it for him?
Oh, yeah.
We can talk about box office all we want, but even if it is a success, and they greenlight other sequels, this probably might be the last time you see, unless it's a parody or some skit, this might be the last time you see Arnie as the Terminator.
For sure. No matter what, even if, and they're not making it, well, they may make a sequel because every movie is bombed and they still made another one. Yeah, this is it for him. I think you're right. That was a note to the audience that this is it.
Yeah, so I like that line. And I agree with you. I like kind of the scenes. I mean, I like how Sarah Connor, again, we're not talking about Sarah too much here in these scenes, but I think she's still the anchor here, and I like everything. She's not forgiving him. I liked her initial reaction. She wanted to blow his fucking head off. She's like really antagonistic on him, but then she somewhat opens up. because she realized he's helping. I thought that was good acting. That's what I mean. I didn't like Linda Hamilton at the beginning of this movie, but I think she got gradually better as we went on. And when she met up with Schwarzenegger, the Terminator, it improved all the way through to the film. And these were her strongest scenes. So I enjoyed that, and how she said, I'm gonna fucking kill you at the end of this. Don't think, and he accepts that, thinks it's fair. So I found that dynamic interesting, and I was enjoying it.
It was really good. They have really good chemistry.
Oh, they have fantastic chemistry.
These scenes were great, and she's just like, when this is all over, I'm going to kill you. He's like, I understand. Perfect. That's great. Yeah. It's fantastic. I love them together. And if you go back to the first movie, they don't have scenes together. Yeah, there's no interplay. I mean, the second one, like T2, they have scenes together, and they have good chemistry, and it works good. But I love seeing them together.
No,
they were great. Everything else, all told, if this movie's garbage or not, but like to see them together.
It's the highlight of the movie.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's roll on from here. So this is the third act. So Sarah inexplicably has some contact with the U.S. military. I don't know who this fucking guy is who believes her.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Even though we're talking about potentially different parallel timelines, this could have been a good opportunity to further tie into T2 that the kid, Dyson's kid.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Couldn't he have been this character?
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
It gives kind of credence to how she has this military contact because she's really a criminal. So the one person who would actually support her would be Dyson's son.
Yeah, like why does he believe her?
Yeah, because they kind of give the hint, well, they've had many adventures together. It's never fun hanging around you every time we meet that.
Yeah, he's short round, basically, right?
Well, I think you're setting the bar low. Short round's fucking awesome, so.
Well, you know what I mean? Like, we've had adventures together. Just believe it, audience.
Yeah, but I mean, this guy shows up he's like a token black guy, man. I'm surprised he didn't die. He might have died. They don't even.
Well, he lived. He got shot, but they think he lived.
Yeah, but you think, but then he just kind of disappears. So I don't know what happened to him.
They don't even give him the respect. For sure,
he's still token black guy. But I think it would have been cooler if it was Dyson's kid.
Yeah, I never thought of that, and I think that would have worked good.
Because that would have made sense for Dyson's kid to at least try and advance his career in military to kind of get ins and outs, and that's kind of a plan, a backup plan that they would have get into a position where he could help, and so it makes logical sense.
Well, somebody who would have believed her.
Yes.
Because why does this guy believe her shit?
Yeah, I don't know.
So we get the big plane action sequence. They crash into a dam, and they have to fight the Rev 9 in the dam there, and hopefully come out on top. So that's the third act. So let's start there. So how'd you like the action sequence with the plane, the military plane?
So seeing the trailer, I thought this was going to be a horrendous sequence. I was surprised that it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. There's a couple of zero-G moments there that I like. They kind of ramp up the tension. I mean, this is not top-tier action, but it's serviceable, so I didn't mind it. I like everything with Arnie on there too, and I like the shots of him and Sarah Connor firing on the ramp as the Rev 9's chasing. So I love those shots. It's seeing them together. Unfortunately, I feel that this third act kind of lets down Danny's character and Grace's character a little bit. I know that Grace still has a lot to do, and I know that Danny's starting to take a bit more charge. Like she's saying, well, I don't want to just run. They're trying to force her to be the leader, like how Sarah was with Reese, but it didn't have the weight behind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It felt forced. Because when Sarah's doing that to Kyle at the end of the Terminator, the first one, she's doing that out of survival instinct. Like, get up, soldier, we gotta move now. Like, she's she's doing it for Kyle's sake. Here, they're trying to do it, Danny's just trying to man up for the audience's sake, to buy her as a leader. It felt forced. So I didn't like those scenes. I think the escape on the Humvee and the parachute down was kind of ridiculous, to be honest. I didn't like the way it was filmed or shot. I know then they crash in the dam and they go in the waterfall and under the water, and we're supposed to feel tension, and I'm not a fan of some of these shots. I don't think it works very well. So I'll stop there before we get into the generic factory scene. What did you think of the plane and them falling into the dam and things like that? Did you enjoy these sequences?
Yes.
Okay. You gotta say it like more.
I dug it. I like the plane sequence. I thought it was good. Yeah, I felt the tension. It was a good action sequence. Yeah, I really dug it. It's awesome. The underwater scenes are great.
No, underwater scenes are shit. I wasn't into that. I was into it.
I was into it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, I was into it. It was good.
Staged terribly. I wasn't a fan. But once they got into the Humvee, it lost a bit of credibility for me. So it wasn't staged well or executed well. It looked too CGI as well. I didn't like how Grace is like hanging the whole way down. It's just not the fact that she can't do it. It's just the way it's filmed. It looks silly.
I don't know. Yeah. I guess I disagree. I don't know.
This also reminded me a bit of Indiana Jones and some of the believability, because we have Danny and Sarah who are not enhanced or augmented, and they're not machines. They can survive, I believe, because the Humvee doesn't fall gently to the water. It lands onto the dam, then it topples into the water, falls down the dam. Reminded Jones going down the dams with them, and no one has a scratch on their body, and they're trapped underwater and all this stuff. Again, going back to that term, verisimilitude. Can I believe this is happening? And I felt the airplane sequence, even though it's still over the top, but that's like any movie. No one would really survive those kind of events, but I can believe it for the movie's sake because the way it's executed. The dam stuff I did not believe because nobody is injured at all. I know Grace is starting to get tired, but outside of that, no one's hurt. And I'm finding that hard to believe. Saying T2 is, John and Sarah are exhausted. Sarah's getting shot. She got shot in the leg. She's in a lot of pain. Kyle's gets shot. He's in a lot of pain in T1. You lose some of that believability. I believe in these characters can exist. I believe that this is happening. When I get to superhero territory, I don't like that. And I think that's a problem. And that's a modern problem with filmmaking. And it's in spades in the third act.
Oh, okay. All right, here. You're not wrong. I mean, I'm not going to argue with you.
Anyway.
I will argue with you, but...
Yeah, go ahead. You can argue with
me. I don't know. Human body is remarkably resilient.
Tell that to Indiana Jones, I guess, as he survived the fridge.
And he did.
He's resilient.
Remarkably resilient.
Remarkably resilient.
I mean, listen, I believe that he survived that shockwave, but he's going to have tumors the size of soccer balls in about 4 years.
I don't believe he would survive any. Indiana Jones would have crawled out a cripple out of that fridge.
Well, no, I mean, he would have crawled out fine. It's the radiation later.
It's both. Anyways.
Maybe not.
Be that as
Maybe not. I don't know. How many times have you been in a nuclear explosion in a fridge? I mean, me only twice, so I'm not an expert. So they crash.
Well, they had the dam sequence.
They got the dam sequence.
They're escaping into the Rev 9s now.
Right. So let's
landing or somehow also on there, and then they escape into the factory.
Yeah. So they're in their factory, and they manage to get Grace a shot of insulin drug cocktail as well. And this is the final fight. And they manage to turn on a turbine and drag the Rev 9 into this turbine, and Arnold, being the selfless, soulless machine that he is, destroys the Rev 9 or puts the final nail in the coffin. Grace succumbs to her injuries, and that's kind of it. Grace dies, Arnie dies, the Rev 9 dies. Sarah Connor lives, which I was surprised at. I thought for sure she was going to eat shit in this movie. Danny lives, of course. So, yeah. The final action sequence here, the destruction of the Rev 9. I mean, I figured Arnie was going to die because he dies in all of his movies. Now, how many times do you need to die in a movie and you come back for every sequel? It's impressive.
Yeah.
He needs to be a robot, I guess. I was surprised that Grace died because they were trying to kind of create, it's not going to happen. We're not going to see the next iteration of this, but it was like the first of a trilogy. And I was surprised that Sarah lived. So, yeah. What do you think?
I'm fine with some of the action sequences that happened in here. I like the scene. I like Grace's role here as she's whipping the chain around and she's cutting him in half a bit and grabbing him. I thought that was an effective scene. And we really didn't talk about the Rev 9 splitting into two Terminators. So I like the fact that's happening. So it provides that extra layer of tension. And mainly there so Grace and Arnie can fight at the same time in this movie. But I like a little bit of the team up. They work together. So they all help each other, including Danny. Like they're all kind of together fighting both of these Terminators and they gang up and Arnie shreds them in that turbine. And I think that I like Grace's sacrifice, realizing that the way to really defeat him is the energy source that comes out of her, even though it's very convenient.
Well, it's the exact same resolution as Terminator 3, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, same solution as Terminator 3, but it was still an effective scene. I like her sacrifice because she does a good job, Mackenzie Davis. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the acting, so I buy it. It's a good fight scene. It's not amazing. It doesn't have the weight or the stakes that Terminator or Terminator 2 has in its climax. You're not as afraid or as on the edge of your seat. It doesn't have the desperation, but it's still effective. The one scene I do really like here is Sarah Connor, when Arnie's Terminator is hurt and partially out of it. She's yelling for him to get up. I forget the line she says. I don't think she says you still have a mission or something like that, but she's saying something to give him purpose.
Yeah.
I like that dynamic because she's calling him by Carl, because before, earlier in the movie, she says, I'll never call you by Carl.
Right,
she's calling him fucking tin can or whatever, metal motherfucker, and all those names she's throwing at him. Finally yells Carl. So she's humanizing him and giving him purpose. So I like that. It's a good arc between the two characters. So I like that there's a payoff. And I like Arnie. It's a bit of a simple solution, sticking him with the power source and then just shredding him, and then they go down and he blows up. But I mean, I like the line for John. The only problem is, as I said before, I don't buy this whole mission of his to begin with the text messaging. So since I don't believe in that, I'm kind of disassociated to it, but I do like the line. It's fine the way it ends. It doesn't have the dramatic weight or emotion that, in my opinion, Terminator 2 definitely did not have. I mean, it had, but this movie doesn't compare to that emotional moment as he sacrifices himself. Or even in T. I like T, how he resolves it and takes out the TX a bit better than he takes out the Rev 9 here. I think it's executed better in that film than it is here. But the one scene I do like, as he's talking to Sarah, he looks up at Sarah, says, for John, and she has the very similar look. They filmed it in the same way and staged it the same way as Terminator 2.
Yes.
Almost in the same fashion. So I like that. I mean, again, the acting and some of the staging is good. The unfortunate thing here is I felt that the character that is supposed to be leading the charge into potential sequels takes a back seat. I'm not interested in Danny at all in the third act, and that's a detriment to the movie.
Yeah.
And the movie fails at making us care about this character. So that's a fault in the movie. I don't know what else to say. I don't think that she's a bad actor, but I like Grace going out the way she did. I like the action scenes she had, as I said, and her going out. So it's not amazing. It's not as good as T1, T2, T3's climax. I like those climaxes better. I think there's more interesting stuff happening there. The action set pieces are better in those movies. The resolution and the conclusions are better in those movies than this movie. So that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah.
So what did you think of Arnie's send-off here?
Well, it felt very similar to his send-off in T2 and T3, kind of. I don't know. I was kind of hoping he was going to make it this time.
Yeah, it would be nice. Something different.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I understand that. And no, I was hoping he was going to make it this time. Like, why not? Why do you have to kill him every fucking time?
Because they could bring a new one.
And obviously that's the case. They can bring a new one back. But wouldn't it be cool if we get to 2050 or whatever, and this T-800 has been by his side the whole time? I think that would have been great. And I don't know how many times has one dude died in the same franchise, like over and over again.
Well, he's not Sean Bean, so.
No, he's not Sean Bean.
But he might as well be.
Like, don't kill Sean Bean. But Sean Bean's all died as different characters. Arnold died as the same character in this franchise. Over and over again. I don't know. I get it. I guess it's just the story. It's the franchise. It's like, he has to go. There's no way for him to survive in that. I guess it's the argument against continuing the franchise. Like, after T2, the story's over. Like,
I accept both T2 as an ending and T3 as an ending. Beyond that,
T3 is an ending.
Well, it depends on your point of view. It's like choose your own adventure. Do you choose that they beat the machines? T2 is your ending. Do you choose that the machines actually win and this whole thing's inevitable? T3 is your ending. And that's really your only two possible endings. That's where I come from.
Yeah. If T3 was a better movie, I guess I'd get on board with that, but it's not. So.
Well, at least T3 did something different with an ending.
T3 is like T2 only we're not going to try to prevent shit. Like, it's inevitable.
So that's fine.
Yeah. If it was a better movie, that would have been fine.
I think it's a fine movie. Not like excellent. An adequate sequel. I accept it.
So much.
I know. That's okay.
Yeah.
We could disagree on Terminator 3.
Everything after Terminator and Terminator 2 are fucking awesome. And I think you and I agree on that.
Oh, yes.
Everything after that.
It's a downhill.
They can just get the fuck out of my face with everything after that. Including this movie. Including Terminator. I've said, like, I like Terminator Genesis, but they can fuck off with Terminator Genesis. Like, fuck you.
Okay, so before we get into kind of your thoughts on this movie as a whole, my question here is, they didn't blow up the two Terminators. They kind of just melt I guess, and turn off.
They don't blow it up.
Or
They just
something.
melt it down
Yeah,
quietly.
no, not even that. They're not melted. They're just kind of done. Kind of an EMP sort of situation. They don't work anymore, but the chassis, the equipment, the tech is still kind of there, as they don't show. I'm assuming you can make the leap that Danny and Sarah would get rid of the stuff, but they don't show it. I can't even remember how the movie ends. Do they just leave and she's in a truck? I think that's very similar to T1, except Sarah's with her, right?
Well, they get into Sarah's Jeep from the first Terminator.
Yeah, very similar Jeep, and then, but it's like a different day, and they just kind of go off somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, that's how the movie ends?
Basically, yeah.
I mean, I'm happy Sarah lived, but what's the point?
No, I don't know what the point is. I don't know where to start here. It's very frustrating because, okay, so we had Terminator 2. And Terminator 2 is that's the end of the story.
Technically, yes.
They have to do some mental gymnastics to make Terminator 3, right? Terminator Salvation, look at it this way. Let's say T3 doesn't exist. You could make Terminator Salvation and it would be fine because it's just in the future.
That's right.
I mean, it sucks, but
it can still exist. Yeah.
It can exist. Terminator Genesis, again, I get it. It's not a good movie, but it could exist because they kind of play with the timeline a bit.
If it's an alternate timeline, yes.
Well, one possible timeline, as Kyle Reese says in The Terminator. And basically, this is Alien 3. It's like, we don't give a shit about that stuff before. I mean, it happened, but it didn't matter. That's what they're saying. And that's a problem for me. Because if it didn't matter, then why does it exist? And why do you exist? If it didn't matter, why do you matter? Because you're not Terminator 2. So
I agree with you, but we know why this movie exists. It's a soft reboot.
Yeah, it's a soft reboot, and it bombed so hard at the box office.
Yeah, they say the studio was $100 million.
Yeah, and I feel like they deserve it.
That's sad. They do deserve it based on the story choices they've made. It's just too bad when you had Arnie and Linda Hamilton back.
Yeah.
In order for you to try and reboot something or extend the series or do something, you have to trash on what's come before.
Yeah.
And that's my major gripe with studio picks. Either come up with your own shit, stand by it, and if you want to continue a sequel that, even if it's not needed, go ahead, make a sequel, just respect what's come before. That's all I need. And I can accept your existence then. But if you can't even do that, and if you don't want to even respect what's come before, you better tell the most amazing story to make it worthwhile. So if you can't even do that, and you trash on what's come before at the same time, that is a crime. That's where I come from.
I don't know that it's a crime. I don't know that anybody needs to be arrested at this point. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, but some people have been arrested for far less, let me tell you.
Well, that's true, exactly. Yeah, you made a shitty sequel, you go into jail for 30 days. It's just the rules.
Tell me a good story. You're not telling me a good story here. You're telling me a similar story that I've seen before, except it's not as good.
Well, even T2 was telling us the same story, but it was good.
But it was good. It was something still different, but good.
And you could believe that extension. Okay, like T2 opens with a monologue, and Sarah Connor kind of says, kind of sent 2 Terminators back through time. Like, okay, that wasn't established in the first one. And now they're like, the second one, like, oh, well, actually, there was a second Terminator. Like, and then,
well, now there's a third Terminator.
Okay, and then, but yeah, T3 goes,
in Terminator 3, it's third Terminator. No.
And then we get to this movie, and there was a bunch of
Terminator, and a new Skynet.
Exactly.
I do have one question. So these Terminators that are coming back, so Carl, he can sense the time disturbance. So that's why he's telling Sarah Connor where they are. But they're all Legion Terminators. Well, they're not Skynet Terminators.
I guess.
They have to be.
Well, okay, so here's what I got. One, why can he sense them? Because some bullshit, right?
Because of the time disturbance. Temporal disturbance.
And I have a type R phase discriminator. Not a type L, type R.
You should just yelled coolant leak and rolled under a door.
Yeah.
Jordan LaForge style.
Yeah, exactly. And that was some bullshit. I hated that. That drove me nuts. I hate poor temporal causality logic, but that's just me.
It's not strong, so...
It's very poor. Very poor.
Yeah.
But then again, the question is, well, Skynet ceased to exist, so there should be no Terminator coming back. So the Terminator that we assume that's a Skynet Terminator, right?
That's right. Keep going. I have a question.
Are the Terminators that he's warning her about Skynet Terminators?
Based on how the story is laid out, no. They're Legion Terminators, which is very strange. So then that means their target is Danny.
Mm-hmm.
And Sarah's wiping him out, but they're probably nowhere near Danny. So there's some logic issues here in the plot.
And
she's not in Mexico. They're all over the place, right?
Right. And presumably they're all Rev 9s, right?
Yeah, so then here's the other thing. If Mr. Carl wants to do Sarah Connor a solid, I'll just text you where these Rev 9s are. You deal with them yourself.
Yeah, you deal with them. I'm good.
I gave you a text for John.
I got some drapes to hang,
Yeah,
so,
he's sipping the beer for John.
Yeah, for John, LOL. Like,
he probably set the coordinates and he probably emoji sign.
Yeah, exactly.
Afterwards.
For John, LOL, poop sign.
Sarah Connor, here you go.
Yeah.
Fuck you, asshole. I don't know.
That's all.
So it doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, not at all. I'd help out, but this bastard, he wants the lilies on his drapes. It's very difficult. Very difficult with the lilies. Doesn't make any fucking sense. I mean, to be fair, Terminator and Terminator 2 don't make a lot of sense with their temporal logic. But this is just like, we don't fucking care. This is drapery. This is drapes need to be, fuck you. Fuck you, asshole. Fuck you, asshole.
That's right. What else you got for this one here?
I don't know. Here's what I'll say. I actually liked the movie. I was entertained. I thought the action was great. I thought the story didn't make any fucking sense. But I loved the chemistry with Arnold and Linda Hamilton. That was awesome. I actually liked the movie. I was watching. I'm like, this is pretty good. It didn't make any fucking sense. And when I'm watching, I'm like, well, why? It was the same as when I watched Joker. I'm like, why? Why did they make this movie? What's the fucking point? You can't have imagined that this was going to make any money. Nobody gives a fuck about the Terminator anymore. Like, people who give a shit about the Terminator are people like you and me. We're in our 40s. Like, you don't market franchise movies, like new franchises, to people in our age group. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm so confused. I was entertained, enjoyed it. I thought there was a lot to like. I'd watch a sequel. It's not going to happen. But I liked it, but I'm confused. I don't know. That's all I got. What about you?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. It's not a terrible movie. There's a big consensus that this is the best Terminator sequel since Terminator 2.
Yeah, that's a low bar, though, right?
And I disagree. T3's far better than this one. You and I will disagree on that. Be that as it may, I think this is the best Terminator movie since T3.
Yeah,
again,
well,
low bar.
That's definitely a low bar. Yeah.
Still low bar. So there are strengths to this movie. I like the acting, the actors in this movie, male and female. I mean, Arnie does a good job too, coming in here. I have some questions on the agency of this Terminator. I don't mind that it's a learning computer, that he can evolve. I just find it hard to believe that he can just reside to family life and not have another mission from Skynet to ensure Skynet's survival. In some fashion, because he would be monitoring that as part of his program. Is Skynet still on track? And if not, do something about it. Manipulate something. Kill something. Program something. Do something. That's a huge problem for me. But because we got Carl, the drapery Terminator, I laughed. I wish we saw more of him and Linda Hamilton together. I thought that was the strength of the movie. Grace was very good. I like Mackenzie Davis. She was fine. The action scenes are good. The Rev 9's good. I mean, I'm not crazy on the look of the new endoskeleton. Odd looking and too similar to the new ones. I felt that they could do something different there. And the movie's too similar to the previous Terminator movie, so your question of why is correct. Why does this movie exist? The big fault of this movie is failing to hook me with the new character of Danny. I have no interest in this character. That's a detriment to the movie, so if you want to create a sequel, you've failed. Significantly. Like, seriously. This character is non-existent to me in my mind, and I cared more about Grace than her, and when that happens, it's a problem. I have no interest in seeing a sequel to this movie. If Sarah Connor and her have other adventures in another movie, I wouldn't watch it in the theater. I might catch it on home video or on the TV or something like that. So I do think this is Arnie's last at the can. But the funny thing is, I saw an interview with him and Linda Hamilton. He seems up for a sequel. He says, well, it's up to the audience. I'll come back if the audience says yes. So the audience is saying no. So that's that answer. But if a studio greenlights it, Arnie's still going to come back for the paycheck. So who knows? Mm-hmm. He shouldn't. I think this is a good point to end the Terminator franchise. Maybe we can get into that. My biggest problem being the soft reboot, the question of why. I don't like the character of Danny, so they fail there. And I don't like how they disrespect the previous characters and what they went through. Killing off of John Connor, I don't buy. It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. It is what it is. So I give it a mild recommend. It is not a rare antiquity. If you want to just go watch a mindless action movie, go ahead and watch it. There's some good sequences. There's some funny moments. So you can enjoy yourself if you turn off your brain. If you want to think about it, there's major problems here.
I think I agree with you there. Like, yeah, there's lots of problems here. It's a real shame. Like, shit. Like, I would watch a sequel to this, but yeah, they didn't do enough with Danny. Grace is great, Mackenzie Davis, but they killed her off. So, man. And I don't like that they Alien 3'd Terminator. It's like, remember that shit that was awesome and you cared about? Yeah, fuck it. It's over now.
And here's the funny thing. Alien 3 is better than this movie.
Yeah. The bold claim there. And I don't dislike
so.
Alien 3, but...
No, the reason why is because there's still an arc for Ripley in a sense.
Yeah.
They did fuck up the Newton Hicks thing, but she has somewhere to go and it finishes her story. Here, there's an extension of a story we didn't need finishing.
Well, okay. All right. I'll tell you what. I'll try to watch Alien 3 again and we can relitigate that question.
Alien 3 is still not good.
No.
I'm just saying it's better than this movie.
It's an apples and oranges question. But I'll say this. I loved, like, Linda Hamilton fucking crushed it in this movie. And it's a shame that it was this movie that she came back for. I loved her in this movie. Imagine not being in anything other than Chuck. But that was like 5 years, like more than 5 years ago. And she comes back and she just dominated. She was so good. She was Sarah Connor. No rust, I don't think. Awesome. That elevated this movie to me. Arnie was awesome as well. Like, he was hilarious. He didn't really do any action, but that's fine. This is a tough one, man, because it's not a rare antiquity. Not even close. But shit, go watch this movie. I mean, it's bombing I'm kind of sad it's bombing, but go watch this movie. It was good.
Is this a high recommend?
Yeah.
Hi.
Oh, wow. Yeah, go fucking watch it. It's fucking dope. Wow. The action set pieces are great. Linda Hamilton was fucking awesome. I mean, the movie doesn't make any fucking sense at all, but I don't know, man. I was watching. There's a thing that I do when I watch a movie, and it's sort of like half consciousness. I don't know, that sounds weird, but it's like there's a point in the movie I'm like, this movie's fucking awesome. And I'm sitting there watching like, this movie's great. Or, man, this movie sucks. And it usually comes around the end of the first act. Maybe halfway through the second act.
I have those moments too.
Yeah, you do that too?
It doesn't hit me every movie, but sometimes, yes.
Okay. No, every movie I do. And in this movie, I was just like, man, this is fucking good. I mean, it's not good, but I was watching it. This is like, it's not
good. It's not good.
It's not Chinatown. It's not Big Trouble in China. It's not Star Wars. I'm like, oh, this is great. But I'm like watching, I'm like, wow, this is good. When I watched The Phantom Menace, I was like, oh, man, this is not great. But this, I
don't know what you're talking about.
It's just an example, man. Don't get fucking your panties in a bunch here, all right? Okay, I know it's not the same thing, but that's what I mean. Like, I watch a movie, I'm like, this is good. I dig it. And I had that feeling in this movie. I'm like, all right, man, this is fucking dope. So I don't know. It's not a good movie, but it's good.
I love it. It's not good, but it's good.
It's good. It's good. I don't know.
I'll sum it up. To me, it's okay. It's adequate, but a very low recommend is where I'll go.
The action's good, though, right?
The action scenes are competent. I said that you can have fun watching a couple of the action set pieces. There's some humor with Arnie. Linda Hamilton was fine. She improved as the movie went on, so I liked seeing her back. I just can't justify the movie's existence. And there's a lot of problems with the movie if you, not just from existence point of view, but within the movie context itself, logically it doesn't make a lot of sense story-wise.
No.
And you fail with your main protagonist, which is supposed to be Danny, then you have a problem.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. But I'm gonna buy it when it comes out on Blu-ray, probably.
I'll catch this in the, the depths of Netflix, wherever it ends up.
I do want to watch it again.
I can wait several years before I see this one.
You might be dead by then, though.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I'll watch it on my deathbed if I get a chance. How about that?
Would that be your deathbed movie? Terminator Dark Fate?
No. Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
I was going to say, what's your deathbed movie? But I guess...
It would have to be something with Shatner, of course.
Well, how about, what was the spider movie we watched with him?
Kingdom of the Spiders.
Kingdom of the Spiders. That's what you need to watch in your deathbed. And you know what? Here's what I'm going to do for you.
Okay.
Because you're my friend and we've known each other for so many years. On your deathbed. And you know I'll be just fine when you're on your deathbed. And then I'll be fine.
I want you to come up and tell me, just say, you'll be fine. You walk away.
But here's what we're going to do. We're going to put Kingdom of the Spiders on the hospital TV. The little 4x3 CRT TV that they're going to definitely have. I'll find the VHS tape. Don't worry. It'll be fine. What we're going to do to make sure that the experience is right is I'm going to bring a bunch of tarantulas. Just cover your bed in all of those tarantulas. So that you have the actual experience of being there.
That's fucking awesome. I can't wait.
And I don't know what that has to do with Terminator Dark Fate, but that's what's gonna happen. So don't you worry. We're gonna take care of you.
Sounds great. I do want to say one last thing before we wrap this up.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that, I know because Arnie wants to still be an action hero, I would really still like to see him play a human. There's that old saying, and maybe he was the model for the Terminator or whatever it was. He doesn't have to be the guy who created it, but he could have been something involved. I would have liked to have seen a turn where he's just a regular dude in one of these Terminators.
Yeah, I've thought about that. Actually, I've thought about that for a lot of years, just thinking about a possible sequel to the Terminator, because T2 came out in 91, I think. Just thinking about possible Terminator sequels, because T2 is awesome. Like, well, who could he play? And I thought about that too. You could play like a regular guy that's a model for the Terminator. I don't know. How would that work?
I don't think it'll work now. I think that time has passed.
Not anymore, no. But how could it have worked in the past?
Good question. I think that's more moving towards the future. You're in the future. And this is like a guy in the death camp, something along those lines. Or he was forced to aid. You can make fun of Arnie's intelligence all you want, but he could have been one of the, like Mr. Freeze, one of the scientists who was forced as part of human slave labor to assist Skynet in perfecting the T-800. That's fanboy stuff. I'd need to sit for a year and figure out the story. But the only way I think it would work is this is moving towards in the future, and you have him playing as this human character. He could be with John Connor, different actors, de-aging, do whatever you want. Doesn't matter, whether it was filmed in the past or even now. And you still have T-800s and other versions of Terminators going after. And those other T-800s could still be played by Arnie.
Yeah.
So you get that dual role, and I think that closed this whole thing out. I think if this was done in the late 90s, it could have worked.
Yeah, you could have done something like that in the late 90s instead of T3. You could have done something like this.
I would have preferred that much more, yes.
I think that what's funny is that the Terminator is designed as an infiltration unit. And you've got Arnold Schwarzenegger doing, like, this is not infiltrating shit.
Yes.
He's a fucking monster. This is your infiltration unit? Like, make him 5'8" with brown hair, a little scruffy looking. It doesn't stand up to scrutiny in that sense. So he could play like a scientist or whatever, and he models the Terminator after himself. Yeah, you could do it that way, but it doesn't work. He's not infiltrating shit. All right. So Terminator, Dark Fate, I recommend it. You were like, but not a rare antiquity for sure. Not at all. Not even close. All right. That's Terminator, Dark Fate. So we're going to pivot back to our normal routine. Harry, what? I always love it, man, when you throw a movie at us. So throw a movie at us, man. What's up next?
All right. So next time we will discuss and analyze the 1982 drama/thriller Death Trap, directed by Sidney Lumet and starring Michael Caine and Christopher Reeve.
What? What's it called?
Death Trap. I've seen the movie once when I was a kid. That's it. I have literally one memory from the movie. I cannot attest to how well it is made. It's a good movie or a bad movie. I will find out just like you.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that, I guess, kind of, sort of. So, awesome. Death Trap. Okay, all right.
We got Superman mixing with Alfred.
I feel like that's a necessary mix. All right, so great. So we'll do that. All right, well, I guess that's a pod. It's a pod, everybody. All right, man. Well, it's been fun. I guess we'll talk to you next time.
Good, buddy. See you then.
All right, see you then.
Because after dinner, everyone ought to have a cigar. So I tried it. Well, the rest is history. I'm still smoking stogies. I love it, and he introduced me to something really good. And I know now the next question. Knowing you, being the interviewer that you are, digging in deep all the time, you will say now, what does your wife think about that? Let me ask you something. When my wife's father has introduced me to stogies, what is she going to say? She's not going to say my father made a mistake, because her father never makes a mistake. So therefore, it is okay. I can smoke stogies around her. I can smoke stogies in my house. First of all, because her father introduced me to stogies, and second of all, because I'm a stud. I'm ballsy. I don't take no shit from anyone. I smoke my stogie anywhere I want. I don't have to find a hideout place like you.